This is The Wire for 2300 Zulu, January 20th, 2026. Precedence is routine. Information cutoff is 2200. Bottom line up front. Politicians in Minnesota encourage more attacks on churches. Mass demonstrations continue in Minneapolis, with more planned throughout the week. On the home front in Oregon, yesterday evening, a small arms engagement was reported in Portland to the east of the Lloyd Center at the corner of Northeast 21st Avenue and Northeast Clackamas Street. The incident began as a 911 call reporting a man with a knife, and when police arrived on scene, 2 officers were shot. One suspect remains at large and is considered to be armed and dangerous. Analyst comments for this wire. In Minnesota, the situation throughout the Twin Cities remains as before. Several demonstrations and walkout protests are planned to take place throughout the week, some of which may become more kinetic than others. Many public school districts are hosting classes online this week, which means that many K-12 students will probably be in attendance at various demonstrations during school hours. More locally to Minneapolis, demonstrations at the Whipple Federal Building have dwindled somewhat over the past few days, likely due to the ineffectiveness in achieving any sort of goal, and also the cold weather conditions deterring a large turnout. However, operations to harass and intimidate the citizenry have increased substantially, with many reports of stalking and harassment becoming common not just around Minneapolis, but nationwide. Antifa cells have begun building a national license plate database, compiling photos of random vehicles that are suspected of being used by ICE. This is a national effort, but so far most reports on this website are originating from Minneapolis. This database is being used to post photos of what are mostly random vehicles that are identified as undesirable by activist groups. In reality, most of these vehicles are either rental cars or vehicles not affiliated with ICE at all. This line of effort, among many others, has resulted in a continuation of the trend of random citizens being targeted around the city. Concerning the targeting of churches, these efforts are being encouraged by state-level elected officials in Minnesota. Transgender Representative Lee Fink, who is a male, openly encouraged the continuance of activists disrupting Christian worship services in a post on Facebook. Keith Ellison, the Attorney General for the state of Minnesota, conducted an interview with Don Lemon in which he endorsed the disruption of worship services at City's church, which Lemon himself participated in. This makes sense, as Ellison was also interviewed by Don Lemon on the morning of the attack before the church was targeted. As such, the state government endorsing activities intended to intimidate or coerce a civilian population will result in an intensification of such efforts over the next few weeks. This concludes The Wire for 2300 Zulu, January 20th, 2026.